want to jump on here and just do some question and answers. There's no set topic today. So let's see what kind of questions. I just did some videos, all kinds of videos on SSI, SSI and working. Let's see, overpayments and underpayments during early retirement. Is your check 100% correct? A little bit of Social Security history. Uploaded about 30 shorts. And let's see here. So if you got any questions, make sure you put it down into chat there. All things Social Security. I ran the third busiest Social Security office in the country. So if you got questions on Social Security, retirement, disability, survivor benefits, spouse benefits, Medicare, Medicaid, any of that, just go ahead and let's see what we got. Let's see. Got a question about early retirement. I just got off the phone with someone. They got an overpayment letter. Well, actually, it was an overpayment letter. They worked too much. So when you file for benefits early retirement, under your full retirement age, you're limited to the amount of money you can make, earned income, which is this year is $22,320. Anything over that, Social Security holds back $1 for every $2 you go over. All right. All right, got Helena. Hey, Dr. Ed, how are you today? Good, good. What's up, Helena? Dirk asked, if I remarry and die, will she receive my SSI? All right. So I just did a video on SSI. SSI is the welfare-based program. So what you probably mean is Social Security. So if you remarry and die, will she receive your Social Security? If a person was married to you for 10 years or longer and your benefits, well, doesn't matter on survivors, but yeah, if they were married to 10 years, or if they were married to you when you passed, you had to be married to the person for 9 months in order to be entitled to survivor benefits. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you remarry. An X fits on your record if they were married to you for 10 years or longer. The amount of my disability be the same when I reach for terminate. Let's see here. Let me see what that means. So you're probably asking about your full retirement age once you hit 66 and 8 months, or 67, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, when you hit your full retirement age, your disability benefits are automatically switched to retirement benefits, and the check amount stays exactly the same. Do you see Social Security still being here at least 10 years from now? Absolutely. Been here since 1935, and most successful poverty alleviating program in U.S. history. All you got to do is look at the history going back, the Great Depression and before then. So a lot of people depend on Social Security, but now it's our job to make sure it does continue for our grandkids and all the rest of it. So why am I quoted 4 different amount for widow's benefits? Yeah, widow's benefits are a nightmare to calculate. It really depends. You'll get a definitive number once you file a claim. Before that, because there's so many different variables, how early you're going to file, because if you file early, then your benefits are going to change. So if you change your date and when you say you want to start your benefits, then it changes. And then the difficulty is, did your ex file for benefits? Did they file for benefits early? Did they file for benefits at their full retirement age? Did they file for benefits after, up until 70, and the delayed retirement credits and all that? So there are so many variables. That's one of the hardest calculations to do. Once you know all the variables, it's easy-ish, but there's so many different variables. So that's why you get, several different calculations. And whatever somebody tells you, or online, or whatever the case may be, It means nothing until you actually file a claim and you get the decision letter in the mail. And then the decision letter in the mail will tell you exactly what your benefit amount will be. And you know, my recommendation on that, because it's so difficult to kind of figure out sometimes, is if you want a better idea for planning purposes, then what you can do is uh, schedule a claim. You have to be at least 60 years old to file for survivor benefits. You know, get your day with talking to an actual retirement specialist, not just somebody at the front window. A retirement specialist, they will take the claim, ask you all the questions, and they will tell you definitively at that time how much your benefits are going to be. And then if you like the numbers, then start your benefits. If you're still wondering and says, okay, well, what if I started this time next year? That's always a good way to do it. Say, okay, how much is it going to be if I wait till next year? And they'll change it and tell you what the number is next year. And then you can make your decision what you want to do. That's the best way for survivor benefits. Daryl, I'm 66 and 4 years, 4 months. When should I apply for fraud to receive at payment at 66? For fraud, yeah. So yeah, a couple 3 months early is plenty of time. It should be pretty easy, particularly if you've already started receiving your Medicare. If you're already receiving your Medicare, then you're already in what we call the claims path, and you've already proven all your, date of birth and names correct and all that kind of good stuff. So if you've already started receiving Medicare, to turn your money on will be very, very easy. So 1, 2, 3 months before is plenty of time. Hello, sir. Once you're ready, you're already started collecting Social Security. Can you apply for Social Security disability? Yes, absolutely. If you're still under your full retirement age, then you can apply for disability, because once you hit your full retirement age, then everybody's disability is switched to retirement benefits. Nobody in the country is receiving disability after their full retirement age. It's switched to regular retirement benefits. Thank you for everything what you do. Yeah, you're welcome. New wife, 9 months. Yeah, for survivor benefits, you have to be married to the person for 9 months. There are exceptions, as I always say, with everything Social Security. There's exceptions, the exceptions, the exceptions. And one of the exceptions is if the person died in the, while they're active duty military, or it was a, accident or something. 60 Minutes had an episode on PMB overpaid. How do we verify the monthly benefit? Yeah, I did a reaction video on that, and Anderson Cooper can't save everybody. But yeah, you watch this video and watch my videos, and if you're the biggest thing on overpayments is work, is where people receive disability or early retirement and they start working. That's probably 90% of overpayments, SSI included, SSI and work, not reporting things. So if you're receiving your benefits early, you're not your full retirement age, or you're receiving disability and you're working, then just as long as you report it correctly and accurately, you should be good. Thank you, Dr. Weir. This is a great service you provide. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I wish I wish I didn't have to do this. I think I'm over 2 months every day. I almost didn't do a video today, but I said I've got a streak going here. But I wish I didn't have to do this. I wish Social Security would provide better service and get people the money they're entitled to, but that's not happening now. So here we are. What are the classes of disability? Classes of disability, not sure. You're either disabled or you're not in terms of Social Security. Yeah, it's the inability to work. Let's see. If I get divorced, I'm 52, married 15 years, will my SSDI be more since I'm not working? No, SSDI doesn't change if you're married or divorced or anything like that. SSI might, that's the welfare-based program. My brother is 58, he is married, can't help out with household as much. How can we get some assistance? If he's disabled, unable to work, then I would definitely suggest he files for disability benefits. Please check out I've got like 4 videos on how to file for disability and a bunch of insider tips, tricks, and secrets. Watch that. And then I also have a 4-part series I did on living on Social Security alone. It's for anybody that's having, hard time. There's like 47 programs in there that might be able to help you out. So some of them might apply, a lot of them maybe not, whatever. And yes, the FCC internet assistance has gone away. Yes. Also, my husband is 100% disabled military. He also applied for Social Security disability and denied. Yeah, we had people in our office. My office, again, I ran the 3rd busiest Social Security office in the country, and we had people in our office that were receiving 100% disability, but they were working, and therefore they were not disabled according to Social Security because they were able to work. So it's the ability to work. But if he's still, not able to work, um, then I would appeal that decision. And make sure you watch my 4 videos. It goes into a lot of detail on the appeals process, reconsideration, appeals, ALJ, and all the rest of it. Can you get a copy of your original calculation for Social Security disability at which I was 17 years old? Your original calculation in terms, um, the money amount, yeah, it's based on your earnings. So yeah, you can ask for an award letter. Sure, absolutely. It's an award letter. It's called an award letter. What is the minimum income filing if you are retired? Minimum income. Um, in terms of annual earnings limit, if you make anything over $22,320, Social Security is going to hold back $1 for every $2 you go over. So let's see. Cynthia, dear, hi, I have an appointment with you tomorrow. All right, cool. We'll see you then. Yeah, I always say 99.9% of my help is free. I do these live Q&As pretty much every day now. Um, but to pay the bills, I do consultations. So you can schedule one of those if you want to talk to me personally. Ralph, I am 65. My SSDI award letter does not have a CDR scheduled date. What does this mean? I may not get a CDR. No, they just didn't put it on there. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, I'm not sure. I think they should put it on there more regularly. But you definitely don't have to worry about it this year, because this year, the new commissioner somehow finagled a deal where no more new CDRs. So you're good. And watch my video on CDRs. And Social Security does a terrible job. They stress too many people out on CDR. So watch that video. Are there 2 different variations of Medicaid, state and federal? No, Medicaid is a state and federal program. It's administered by the states, but it's regulated by the federal government and partly paid by the federal government. There's Medicaid, which you get from the state, and then there's Medicare, which is, you apply at the Social Security Administration. So that's a federal program. That's, the Part A and the Part B and all that kind of good stuff. I'm 65 and going on Medicare Plan G, high deductible. What are your thoughts on how much time do I have to change if it's not good for me? Yeah, high deductible, if you're going to go Plan G or Plan N, if you're going to high deductible, Medicare Supplement, Plan G high deductible, you're doing it because, you want to save some money. So I would think about a Plan N. The reason is if you get a high deductible G, which is great, if you're you're not going to have an accident or get sick, then you're going to save tons of money. But if something happens, then it's very difficult to switch from a high deductible G to a regular G. If you're healthy, you're still healthy and stuff like that, then you're fine. But if something happens, then you might not be able to switch to a regular G. So a lot of people get the high deductible because they just they want to save money. Nothing wrong with that. So I would probably look at it N first. But yeah, again, I just evaluate all your options. And so yeah, if you get a high deductible G and you're healthy, then you can pretty much change it anytime you want. My wife just started getting Social Security. She needs to apply for spousal benefits. How can she do this? Yep, same exact way she did Social Security. Is you have to be receiving benefits on your own record. If she just filed, then they should have taken a spouse claim at that time, unless you're perhaps not receiving your benefits yet. Yeah, if you're receiving your benefits and she told them that she was married and that you're receiving benefits, they should have immediately taken a spouse claim. Um, but you have to be receiving your benefits first. My husband collected Social Security at 62, not working since. He is now 65 and has a house for sale. Will he lose his benefit if his house is sold? Nope. If you mean by SS, just regular Social Security retirement and stuff like that, nope, no issues whatsoever. Um, and but if you're talking SSI, the welfare-based program, then you got money coming in. But sounds like you're just talking about early retirement. If you're on disability and now are turning 65, does it change and the difference? Nope, nothing changes. Um, well, one thing does change. Now, if you're on disability and in your particular state, the only thing you get is a Medicare Advantage plan. Now you can get a Medicare Supplement plan and you cannot be denied or charged extra or anything like that. So that is one thing I would definitely check out. People with disabilities, have a higher, they need a lot of health care. So they like not having prior authorizations from insurance companies. They like having to be able to see any doctor they want, no networks or anything like that. So if you can afford the monthly premium, I would definitely check out a Medicare supplement plan. And if you have a broker that help you out, you know and trust, contact them. If not, email me and I can tell me your name, phone number, state, and then say, hey, I want to check out Medicare supplement plan, see if it's right for me. And I'll have somebody reach out to you and give you all your options 100% for free. My husband is 64, 9 years older than me. Is there an advantage to collecting Social Security now? Yeah, if you need the money, you need the money. Um, um, I mean, anytime you take the benefit early, it's going to be reduced, and your survivor benefits will be reduced too, because if your spouse takes their benefits early, yours could be reduced as well. The survivor benefits, that is. Would you recommend filing for Social Security at 64 when you retire, or wait until 67? 100%. There is no one answer to that one. It really depends if you need the money, can you wait, your longevity, your health, 1,000 other variables. Can I retire at 55? I've been a nurse for 31 years. No, not. You can definitely stop working at 55, but you can't start collecting your Social Security retirement benefits on your own record until you are 62 years old. What is a disability medical review? So that's called a CDR, continuing disability review. Such as something they do every now and then, every few years, depending on your particular disability, and to review to see if you've gotten any better and can go back to work. If I'm on disabled but don't have Medicare because I need 2 quarters, what can I do? So that means you are on SSI, because unless you're not currently insured. Okay, so for disability, you need two things. You need to be insured, that is, you paid 40 quarters, 10 years into Social Security, and you also need to be currently insured. That means you worked 5 out of the last 10 years. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about in terms of 2 quarters. But if you're receiving SSDI, that means you are eligible for Medicare. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you're receiving SSI, the welfare-based program, then yeah, then you won't get Medicare. I would definitely go down and apply for Medicaid from your state. My husband collected Social Security at 62. Oh, okay, I already answered that one. Sorry, let me get to the next one. If my annual income is under 24,000, do I have to file? I am fully retired. That sounds like a tax question to me. I have Medicare Plan E. All right. So yeah, there's 10 letters, and for Medicare supplements, yeah, the plan, the Medicare plans supplement plan. If you're turning 65, you don't have to get Those other 8 are actually 7 letters. The other big one was F, but nobody can get F anymore. But there's 7 other supplement plans that are just not very good. So the ones to get are a G or an N. So if you have anything other than that, then you turn 65, you should really, really check out your other options. You'll probably save a lot of money and get a lot more coverage. So email me and I can have someone reach out to you. Murray, I am soon to be 70. What do I do before I file? Yeah, nothing. Well, actually, you check your earnings record. Make sure your earnings record is correct. Everything you paid into Social Security. But make sure you file and start your benefits the month you turn 70, because your benefits don't go up anymore after you hit 70 years old. COLA increases and work. But in terms of the delayed retirement credits, you've maxed out. So you can't get any more delayed retirement credits. So about a month or two before you turn 70, get your benefits. And again, you're probably maybe already receiving Medicare, so the application will be very, very easy. Can you work if you're getting SSI and how many hours? Yeah, it's not about hours, it's about how much you make. Watch my video I just did a couple of 3 days ago on SSI and working, and it gives you all the numbers and what you need to do. But absolutely, you can work and receive SSI. So like I said, I just did a go onto my my YouTube channel and then click on live, the live button, and you'll see it says SSI and working, and it goes into all the details. My brother did not file for his benefits at the time. I was just trying to get him some help. That's what I like to hear, is people helping out their families and friends and coworkers and neighbors and stuff like that. We find money for people every single day. I got another note today that somebody got alimony. Finally, well, actually got back child support because we talked about this in one of the lives, and people, yeah, so we're finding millions and millions of dollars for people. So it's a beautiful thing. I'm just making the videos. Y'all are the ones that are finding stuff. You're going out there and saying, hey, I heard you're getting Social Security. How come you're only getting that much? Well, you need to do this, that, and the other. So y'all are the ones finding it. I'm just providing the information. So do your thing. How long do I have to be married before I can claim SSDI on his earnings? You can't collect SSDI on someone's earnings. The only way you can is if that person is deceased and you're a disabled widow. And you can do that from 50 to 60, but you cannot collect SSDI. That's a disability, and you have to file on your own for disability. Is it normal to have a disability review while an overpayment waiver decision is pending? Yeah, they're completely two different things. Let's see here. I took all my earned time on my FMLA to have my 2 girls 7 months. How does this affect my retirement? Doesn't affect your retirement at all. Social Security doesn't affect Social Security retirement at all. FMLA or anything like that. Let's see here. Rena, I'm planning to downsize and sell my property. What would happen since I'm on SSDI? Nothing at all. No relationship whatsoever. You are good for SSDI. SSI, the welfare-based program, is a different thing. But SSDI, nope, you're good. Tim, I reached full retirement age in January. I waited till early June to file for July to get the delayed increase. SSA called asking if I wanted to change my start date to January. Why are they asking me? Yeah, they just wanted to see because you're at your full retirement age, and anytime you're after your full retirement age, you're entitled to 6 months retroactive pay, and they are just doing their job. So that's pretty awesome that they reached out to you, and they're not kind of enticing you. It's just that claim specialist, that's their job, is to inform you that they can give you 6 months back to your full retirement age. This is only if you're beyond your full retirement age. They have the ability to go back 6 months, and they're just calling you up and informing you that they can do it. This is live here. I'm going to continue answering questions while I turn down the TV that just popped up here. See, so y'all don't think this is live. This is 100% live. Usually it's the cat that causes problems, but Today it's the TV jumping on. Okay. Let's see here. So yeah. So I would tell them, says, no, if you want the 6 months back pay, and it's obviously any month, you won't get any of the, the delayed retirement credits for that 6 months. Um, but you might get 6 months back pay, or so yeah, make the decision and then tell that person, thank you for doing your job correctly and giving me my options. What is the difference in price for a regular G versus a high deductible? Yeah, high deductible, the monthly premium is cheaper. But then, if you actually get sick, then you got a high deductible that you have to pay out the first, thousands of dollars. Iris, my deceased husband collected at 62 and passed at 67. I'm waiting for my interview with Social Security office as I'm a foreign spouse. I'll be 61 in September. How much will I get? Yeah, it really depends on how much he paid for. You'll get about 71.5% of his primary insurance amount. How often do blind persons get CDRs? Yeah, it really depends. Yeah, it depends on the kind of the level of blindness. Different levels. So it really depends. Where can I buy a $5 drug plan? Where are all these drug plans? I have, yeah, there are a bunch of them out there, depending on your particular area. But it really depends on what drugs you take, whether it's a good deal or not. You might pay a $5 premium, but then the particular drug you take, is about $500 a month. But if you take a premium that has $20, you might, your deductible might $100 a month. So yeah, it really depends. How much is a regular G? They're different throughout the countries and throughout the country and different on different companies. So yeah, if you want a quote on what's available in your particular area, then email me, Edweir. Let me see. I usually pop this up here. I forgot to pop it up. Oops, that one. Let's see. No, there we go. That one. And email me there and tell me your name, phone number, the city, state you live in, and that you want quotes on a Medicare Supplement Plan G and Medicare Supplement G with a high deductible and maybe an N, and then we can have someone reach out to you and give you quotes in your particular state. If you're 67 and work full time, can you collect Social Security? Absolutely. You can collect Social Security, if for regular retirement at 62, but you have to, it depends what you mean by work full time. If you make under $22,320, then you can work full time and collect benefits at 62. If you're 67, that means you're your full retirement age, so you can collect your benefits, Social Security benefits, and make $1 billion a month. And yeah. Can they force a person back to work if they are on compassion allowance SSDI? No, they can't force you back to work, but if they determine that your disability no longer is a disability, they just won't stop your benefits, whether, they can't force you back to work. But yeah, that's usually the unfortunate part of it. And so, well, if I'm not receiving disability benefits, there are kind of effectively making me go back to work because I need money to pay the rent. Yes. So then if you disagree with their decision, then fight it. Watch my videos. It explains the initial, the reconsideration, the 501, the administrative law judge, the appeals council, all the rest of it. I only have Medicaid, but no Medicare, and I'm disabled. How can I get Medicare? So you're probably receiving SSI, the welfare-based part of disability, because you didn't have enough quarters for Medicare, or you weren't currently insured. There's two different things there. But yeah, if you don't have Medicare and if you've been on disability for 2 years, you get Medicaid automatically after 2 years if you receive an SSDI. If you're not receiving SSDI, then another alternative is when you turn 65, you can ask the state Medicaid office to pay for your Part B premium, and they can, and your Part A possibly. So ask the state to sign you up for Medicare, to pay for your Medicare. Is it best to have social SSA take out taxes? Yeah, it really depends on your particular, yeah, your income and everything. So, uh, I know that there are errors on my SSI earnings history. So SSI is a welfare-based program. So you probably mean SSA earnings history. Where do they get the numbers from, and where do I look in my records for correct earnings? They get the numbers from the IRS, which get the numbers from you. So if those particular years are incorrect, then that's probably you need to correct it with the IRS. And then once you get it corrected with the IRS, then you take it down to Social Security, and they'll correct it. But if it's just like a missing year or something like that, usually what happens is there's a suspense file where there's earnings out there that are kind of limbo that nobody has claimed. And one of the reasons is somebody typed the Social Security number in there correctly. So your Social Security number is, 2-1, but somebody typed in 1-2. And so those earnings are just kind of hanging out there waiting for someone to say, hey, those are my earnings. And so they just have to say, oh, okay, yeah, you work for this employer. And they, just assign them to your earnings record and recalculate, and everything's good. I've done it hundreds of thousands of times. Pretty easy. Let's see. Where do you find the premiums for the drug plans? Yeah, Medicare.gov has probably the best in terms of tells you all the premiums and companies and stuff for the drug plans, that is. If I retire at 62, September 10th, first SSI check. Again, SSI is the welfare-based program. You're probably talking about Social Security. The first Social Security check will be in November. If I retire September 29th, first check in November. Correct. They always pay a month late. Again, if you're talking about regular retirement and not the welfare-based program. So the September check comes in October. The October check comes in November. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Okay, wait a second. You're 62, and okay, I get. Okay, you've got an extra thing there. Is that yeah? You have to be 62 the entire month. Okay, I read the question wrong. Yeah, you have to be 62 the entire month. So the first month you're eligible is in October. So your October check will come in November. Yes. So it doesn't matter when you file. As long as you file before your birthday, then yes, your first check is the October check, and then you'll get your October check in November. Yep. Sorry about that. I didn't see the 62 there, even though I read it out loud. Part one. Here's a part one. Storyteller Sue. Oh, I think she was trying to jump on yesterday. But she missed her question. I logged off before I was able to answer her question. So welcome back, Sue. All right, let's go through here. I was supposed to be separated from my job a few weeks ago with severance and unused PTO, also to pay on. Okay, no real relevance to Social Security there at all. However, my company kept me admin program early in June. They paid out. Okay. My Social Security starts in June. I know they're being for extra income. Yeah, no, none of that is relevant to Social Security whatsoever. So all you have to do is tell Social Security, because it sounds like you're filing mid-year or so, and whatever you made prior to when you start receiving your Social Security checks is not relevant, even if you receive payments after. So it's when it was actually, all you have to do is go down to Social Security. What will happen is you'll tell them that, you're getting funds back when I hit fraud in 2025. Oh, okay. Well, no. Okay. Yeah. So fraud's not really an issue. All right. So how it works is you start receiving your benefits in July. And so the Social Security Administration, for the first year under your full retirement age, they only care about July going forward. So if you made $1 billion from January to June, it doesn't matter. But let's say you earned, $1 billion in June, but part of that was some delayed this or what she put down there, PTO and all this kind of stuff. But you stopped working June 31st. It's just the HR was delayed in paying you the money, and they didn't pay you until the next month and stuff like that. No problem. So what will happen is you can go down there and probably they won't know how to fix it, or you can just leave it, and next year when Social Security gets your notification with the IRS how much you made and stuff like that, the computer system will automatically look at it, kick out a letter, and at that time, if the computer system thinks there's an overpayment there, they will send you an overpayment letter and say, hey, it looks like you made too much during these months, and the computer system really doesn't know which months really you made it in necessarily. um, and so, but if it does, so here's my insider tip: just let it ride. If you get the letter next year, have that letter ready from your employer that says, yes, the money she got when she started receiving her Social Security benefits was for a prior period. And you got a little letter there, and Social Security will have the overpayment. It'll be on the system, and they'll have that letter there, and they'll do the little clickety, clickety, clicky, and everything will be done, and you can go on with your life. So that's what I would recommend based on my decades of inside experience dealing with the beast. Do you have to buy a drug plan when you turn 65? If you do not have health insurance from work, yours or your spouse's, yes, you do. And there's too many people out there that, sign up for Medicare Part A, Part B, then they sign up for Medicare Supplement plan, the G or the N, and then they say, I don't take drugs, so I don't need a Part D. And the agent or broker that enrolls you doesn't do their job and doesn't tell you that, well, I understand you don't take any drugs now, but if you don't sign up for Part D and you decide to sign up for it next year or 2 years and 3 years now, you're going to be charged 1% penalty for every month you did not sign up. And this situation, so this is, agents and brokers just not doing their job. And that's one of the thousands of reasons I decided to put my own kind of team together to help people out. And this is going to get 10 times worse because of all the change. Next year is going to be the biggest change for Medicare, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplements, Part D plans than in decades. And it looks as though agents and brokers are pretty much no longer going to get commissions to help you with your Part D, so they're going to completely ignore it. So there's going to be just an enormous amount of people that get penalized for not signing up for Part D because they don't know, and their agents and brokers don't tell them because they're like, I don't want to waste my time looking up this person's drugs because I don't get paid anything to do it anyway, so forget about it. And then 3-4 years later down the line, that person gets penalized. So yeah, it's going to get a lot worse, unfortunately. So super long story short, 2025 is going to be the biggest year of changes. If you have a Medicare supplement plan, you're good. You don't have to worry about it. Plan G or Plan N, don't worry about it. Shop around for maybe a better price. If you have a Part D, you definitely need to check out when it comes out in October, the new plans. If you have a Medicare Advantage, tons of changes to Medicare Advantage. If you've never reviewed your Medicare Advantage plan before during the annual enrollment period, this is the year to do it. There's going to be a lot of changes. And I just did a video a 3 days ago. What was it titled? The beginning of the end. So the beginning of the end of Medicare Advantage as we know it. So yeah, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, then most of the times, then a Part D up in there. So most Medicare Advantage plans have Medicare Part D already wrapped up in there. There's a few that don't, and those are mostly kind of directed towards vets that use the VA pharmacies and stuff like that. So, all right, sorry if you already answered this, just running in, but can I be working and collect SSI at 62? Again, SSI is the welfare-based program. Just did a video on SSI as welfare. Everybody complained, SSI is not welfare, we paid into it. And it's like, no, you mean SSA. I said SSI is welfare. So you probably mean SSA. All right. I will answer the question based on you meant SSA. All right. So if you are working At 62, yes, you can work. It's just that you have to limit your income to $22,320. Anything over that, Social Security will hold back $1 for every $2 you go over. So if you go $1,000 over, then they will hold back $500. And they can't hold back a partial check. So if your check is $1,500, they will hold back that whole check and then release your benefits in like February or something. Let's see here. Can they? Okay, I already answered that one. Why does Social Security ask me for supplemental hearing after I did a hearing? Oh, I have no idea. The judge just might have had some extra questions. Yeah, he might have done the administrative law judge hearing, and they were writing it up. What happens is the judge, does the hearing, and they kind of make their notes and they send it to a writer. And somewhere in between um, there were some questions. So yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. I'm 71, filed at 70 and still working. My wife turned 62 in a couple of months and is also still working. If we don't need the money, should my wife file for Social Security at 62? Yeah, if you don't need the money. But I've done 500 so videos, but it's called the split strategy. So I'm not sure how much your wife is working, but if she's staying, about $22,320, might be a good idea for her to, start her benefits early, because she can, if you're already receiving your benefits, so she can add at her full retirement age or even sooner, spouse benefits. So if she's, it cuts her down a whole bunch starting at 62. It doesn't really matter when she files for benefits on your record. If she waits until her full retirement age, then she gets 50% of what your benefit amount is at your full retirement age, not at 70. Spouses don't get those delayed retirement credits, that you earned because you waited till 70. Spouses don't get those delayed retirement credits until you kick the ceremonious bucket, shuffle off your mortal coil. Um, Advantage plans includes Part D, but you just need to verify that. Yes, just need to verify that, because some Medicare Advantage plans, they're called, most of them are called MAPD, Medicare Advantage Prescription Drug, but there are some MA only plans out there. You probably have an MAPD, so you're probably lucky, but I would take 350 or whatever your advice and just double check. Yeah, you're probably good though, but double check. How do you contact for my Social Security online account when you have an email address issue? There is no phone call. Yeah, it's a nightmare to set up a ssa.gov website account, and for good reason. They make it difficult so someone doesn't go in and pretend to be you to start mess around with your account. So it is, yeah, it is difficult. Sorry, Stella Show. Thanks so much. I love your wisdom. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. So glad we were able to get to your question today. Is there a certain day of the month when SSA money is deposited into my account? Yes. If you're receiving regular retirement, survivor, spouse benefits, sometimes not survivor. But yeah, it depends on your birthday. If you were born the first 10 days of the month, you get it on the second Wednesday. Second 10 days of the month, you get it on the third Wednesday. Last of the month, you get it on the fourth Wednesday of the month. Now, Advantage plan changes every year, including the Part D drug plan. So you should review an Advantage plan every year. Yes, yes. Medicare Advantage always change every single year. But this year is going to be the big one. It's a perfect storm. So watch my video. There's the catastrophic Part D went from 8,000 to 2,000. So the companies are going to make that affect everybody. The government has said they're going to pay Medicare Advantage companies less money, so they're going to, you don't get to be $1 billion insurance company by not looking at the details. Yeah, so there's going to be tons of changes. So if you don't review your Medicare Advantage plan this year, then yeah, you're gonna be in a world of surprises. How much is income limit next year, 2025? Yep, we don't know. If I receive in Social Security, I will be 100. Yep. So probably it's 22,320 this year. So we won't know until October, but probably 23, 24. So I'm on a give back MA, rarely sick. I get back all but $10. I guess these plans will disappear. I'm not sure. Yeah. So this is what I was talking about, Medicare Advantage or just a MA plan. And this one, there's Part B give back. So this person is receiving $164 back in terms of the insurance company is paying for their Part B. And there's plans like that throughout the country that pay, $50, $75, $100, or all of your Part B premium. But yeah, the fact that he put down rarely sick. So those are plans because again, insurance companies don't get to be billion-dollar companies by being stupid. If they're going to just give you money every month, $164 every month, they're going to take it out of other places. So on this other plan that doesn't pay that, you might have $100 a night for a hospital or MRI or CAT scan. But on his plan, it might be $300 for a hospital MR. So they get it back. But if you know you're healthy, you're young and healthy, young 65 and healthy-ish, yeah, and you want to save some money, yeah, that's a good option. And it's not written in stone. So in October comes around, you say, feeling kind of just don't feel as healthy as I used to be. Maybe I should switch to a regular plan. Sure, I'm going to lose out on a little bit of money, but just in case, I'd like to have a little bit more health coverage. So you might switch this year or next year or 3 years from now. But again, there's always, life is what happens while we're making other plans, and just like, well, I think I'm okay, but yeah, life is life. On the sale of a house, does the capital gains amount apply to everyone who retires past their fraud? Does Medicare go 2 years back to check for sales of a house, even if you were past fraud? Yes, it goes forever and ever and ever. So capital gains on a house, for some reason, Congress didn't make a carve out for that one. So what he's talking about is he or she, he, is Medicare Part B extra premium. So everybody pays $174.70 for their Part B premium, or they have the state pay for it, but it's $174.70. But if you're a high income wage earner, you pay more. Single, $103,000 a year, married, $206,000 a year. And they look at 2 years back. And for some reason, Congress didn't make this an exception. If you sold a house 2 years ago and you made a bunch of money, capital gains, you have to pay the extra premium for 12 months. Yeah. So I don't know why they didn't make that carve out, but it is what it is. And that goes on forever. But it goes on forever in the sense of if you're sold another house and had more capital gains or had that income, then yes, you will pay the extra Part B premium forever. But it sounds like yours is just a one-time deal. You sold your house and you're done. So yours sounds like it's only going to be for that 12 month. So you'll pay the extra premium for 12 months. And then starting in January, your premium will go to the regular amount. When you say you can make up to 22,000, does that include your Social Security check or just their income? Good question. No, it just includes your work from work. So it does include a Roth distribution or IRA or a 401k or an inheritance or anything like that. It's just actual work that you do. I'm 75. My ex is remarried and is still working. Can I get benefits from his Social Security? I'm not married. Yeah, absolutely. If your benefit amount is less than half of his, then yes. So you're like, well, I don't know if his benefit amount is less than half of his. Easy way to do it is call Social Security and say, I want to file a spouse claim, a divorced spouse claim. And you give them the Social Security if you know it. If you don't, just give them the name, rough estimate of their birthday as close as you know it, where the city and state they were born, and the Social Security employee will be able to find the Social Security number and they can immediately look at the benefit amount of your ex and your benefit amount, and they will immediately tell you. They won't tell you how much theirs is, but if they say, okay, let's schedule an appointment, that means there's money there. So let's see here. I'm on SSDI since 58. I turned 60 this year, and I'm eligible for my deceased husband's Social Security benefit. Can I get both? Yes, absolutely. But you don't get both in the sense of it's offset. So whatever you're receiving on disability, if you're receiving $500 from disability, and your spouse benefits is 1,000, then you'll continue to receive the 500 plus another 500. You won't receive 1,000 plus 500. But yeah, there's I can't tell you how many hundreds of millions of dollars are out there being lost because people don't know this. They think, well, if I get survivor benefits, my disability will stop. No, you can get disability because you're on disability. But if you got extra money out there, spouse benefits or surviving spouse benefits or divorce spouse benefits, you can get those on top of your disability. And yeah, hundreds of millions of dollars being lost out there. So please like, subscribe, thumbs up, all that kind of good stuff. Let's get the information out there. How much does it cost if you don't get the D supplement? 1% for every month you don't have it. And it's basically how the 1% of what? It's Social Security. The government does this calculator. It's 1% of the average price of a Medicare Part D plan nationwide. And so usually, it's not a lot, but per month, it's actually maybe $3 or $4 a month penalty, but over 12 months, so that's an extra $36. And then if you do it for 10 years, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of very unhappy people over the next few years because they didn't get their Part D. Thank you, Ed, for helping all of us. SA lost their best employee when you heard, oh, wow, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, actually, when I took an early retirement after COVID, they say, hey, anybody wants to retire? I don't know why they did it, but I jumped at it. And they contact me about a week later after I left, and they say, would you like to come back? I say, no, I'm already, all right. Retired Fed with pension. Can I get widow's benefits from my spouse without reducing my pension? If you're FERS or CDRs, I'm not sure about that one, but yeah, no, Social Security. If you're FERS, it won't affect anything. If you're the old CSRS that you didn't pay into Social Security, it will. 2/3 of your pension will offset what you receive from survivor benefits. What did you say that we can get outside? Getting disability is not much. Oh, okay. Turning 64 and still working full time. Should I take Social Security at 65 or wait until your full retirement age? Yeah, it really depends on how much you're working, whether you need the money, and your health and family genes, longevity, and all that. Can I claim SSI while receiving SSDI even though they say I have too much? Yeah, SSI is a welfare-based program. So yeah, there's millions of people that get SSI and SSDI because their SSDI is low. So the max you can get from SSI this year is $943. So if your SSDI is lower than that, then you can conceivably get SSI, depending on your other income and resources. Let's see. I want to work and collect full as I will be 65 and my husband would have been 66. Yeah, so if you want to collect full, then you have to wait till your full retirement age, which is, I'm sure, not 65. L. James, after being married to spouse for 5 years but now divorced, can you claim? No. No, you have to be married to someone for 10 years, unfortunately. Bobby, Bobby Gilbert. I was active military and years listed on Social Security website. Has that already been calculated? Bobby Gilbert, you're not from New Hampshire, are you? I had an old Marine Corps buddy, Robert Gilbert from New Hampshire, Okinawa. Anyway, if when you filed for your retirement benefits, then they usually ask you if you ever served in the military, and then they, ask for your DD 214 and they input that in there. If you don't remember, then just call the 800 number and say, hey, did you all include my military service in there? And it's not a big difference, $1, $2, $3 a month, but hey, it's your money, right? $3 extra and $3 and another $10 to get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks, right? Let's see. Can I suspend my Social Security benefits for a year? I am at FRA. Yeah, actually, I did. This is yes, this is one of the secrets I put out a video on. It's called voluntary delayed retirement credits. So yes, you can suspend your benefits at your full retirement age, so you can get the delayed retirement credits added on there. So you get, for delayed retirement credits, you get 8% added every year up until you're 70. So you can get 24% added onto your benefits for the rest of your life. Um, if you suspend. And if you're going to do it, not many people do this. So Social Security employees, particularly your Social Security employees at the front windows, don't know about it. So watch my video on that, and just tell them you want to do. It's called, tell them, voluntary delayed retirement credits. Voluntary delayed retirement credits. And the person at the front window says, yeah, there's no such thing. You can't do that. And you'll say, oh, that's interesting. Well, I would like to speak to a Title II OS, T2OS. Title II is the retirement specialist section. OS is the operations supervisor. And then you just tell them, yeah, I want to do voluntary delayed retirement credits. And hopefully, not having too much faith in Social Security. Yeah, hopefully they will give you, set you up an appointment. And if they don't know, tell them, go talk to your Title II technical expert, and yeah, you'll get it. But sometimes this one, it takes a little push because not many people do it, and Social Security employees are not trained. And yeah, a lot of people could take advantage of that. Good evening. Turning 65 in January 2025, and I'm on survivor benefits from husband passing. Let's see here if there's a follow-up question on that. All right, only see that one. And okay, sorry, not a Marine. Oh, that's all right. We'll accept your apology. Marines are. All right, let's see. Air Mom, dear Ed, can I put my home into a trust prior to receiving full retirement benefits and later sell it? I'm not penalized or taxed. Yeah, I don't. The house for Social Security means no relevance whatsoever, only for SSI, the welfare-based program, but anything else, your house, no issues whatsoever. Maybe you're concerned about Medicaid when you go into a nursing home. That's the whole thing about putting your house into a trust. So if it looks like you're going to be maybe getting into a nursing home, you have to do this 5 years before. So what happens if you go into a nursing home? You have to spend all your money, and then once you've run out of cash, then you can go down to Medicaid and apply for Medicaid from the state, and they will pay for your nursing home. And then when you pass away, and inevitably we will, they can take your house. Some states are really rambunctious about taking homes. But if you put it in an irrevocable trust 5 years before that, then they can't touch it. So if you wanted to give it to your kids or whatever the case may be, you have to do that 5 years before. But that has nothing to do with Social Security. Let's see. Collecting my ex-spouse's death benefits. Someone told me, oh, that's always a bad way to start off a sentence. I could have applied for his pension. Can I apply for his pension though he passed? Yeah, so okay, that sounds like a personal pension type thing. Yeah. So I would reach out to whatever pension company that is. SSDI or disability, can you be married, or do you have to make others so much money? I'm severely dyslexic and would like to play on 64 hours on disability in my late 20s. Yeah, if you're on SSDI, regular Social Security disability insurance, then nope, doesn't matter being married, no issue. But if you're on SSI, then any income that person has coming in, will affect you because SSI is a welfare-based benefit. So you have to think of it. If you're on SSI and because you're barely, scraping by on a monthly basis and you marry a millionaire, then yeah, you're no longer scraping by on a monthly basis. So trust is for a special needs adult child. Yeah. Oh, so this is for a disabled adult child. So, no. If the only Social Security relevance there would be if this money is coming from the disabled adult child working. But other than that, of course, if we're talking SSI, the welfare-based program, then you know, um, yeah, whatever money Social Security looks at. What happens if you regularly exceed the monthly amount of earnings by a small amount while in SSDI? Um, yeah, then you've got the first 9 months, you get the trial work period, and I did a video on this Social Security disability and work, and it gives you more details. But yeah, you have the trial work period. The first 9 months, you can make $1 billion a month, not necessarily consecutive. It's 9 months. So whenever you go over that, um, it's considered a trial work month. And then after your 9 months is over, then you go into what's called the extended period of eligibility. And anything over the SGA, which is the $1,550, you don't get that month check. So if you make $1,551, you're not entitled to that 1 month of check. Again, this is after your trial work period. So watch my longer video on that. It explains it a little bit more succinctly. How is my retirement affected for having my two girls with 2 months each? My time and FMLA retirement affected for having Yeah, if you have children, they are your children, not grandchildren or anything like that, but your children, then they can collect benefits up to 50% of your benefit amount. So if you're filing for retirement benefits or you have disability benefits, if you have any children under the age of 18, make sure you notify Social Security so they can take a claim and get you some money. Or if they became disabled before the age of 22. All right, we are over an hour, so let's do one or two more questions and then we'll call it a day. Make sure you subscribe and all that kind of good stuff. So if I didn't answer your question, I'll get to it next time. And that way you know when I'm live. But I've been live for over 2 months straight. I almost missed a day, but I'm like, I don't want to miss a day. So I have Medicare and Medicaid. Since my income went up, I now have a spin down. How does that work? Yeah, each state is different. So you had Medicaid and then your income went up. So they switched you from the higher level of Medicaid, the QMB or the QI or the SlimB, to a lower level of Medicaid. And that lower level of Medicaid says, now you have the ability to pay something. So we're going to make you pay something. So you have to pay the first $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever the case may be. And then after you pay that amount, the cost sharing amount, then we'll cover up everything else. So quite often what happens on that as well, if you had Medicare and Medicaid, you probably also had a Medicare Advantage dual eligible plan. Those are the ones with, a whole lot of extra benefits. So you might be losing that because you've been downgraded Medicaid. So you really need to check to confirm that and maybe switch to a different plan before you're surprised and you walk into an doctor's office, and you hand them your card and they say, yeah, this one has been canceled. So if you have a broker, an agent that you know and trust, reach out to them. If not, email me and I can find someone to go over all your options 100% for free. And full disclosure, if you like the plan that the broker offers, my broker offers, and you enroll, then that person supports this channel and all of this, I think, relatively awesome information. All right, let's do one last question here. Okay, this is to be the last one. After I started collecting, shouldn't I have stopped paying into the system? No, unfortunately. I did a video on that. FICA, you'll pay forever. As long as you're working and you're 100 years old, if you're working, you'll pay FICA always, always, and always. Yeah, so that's the way it's been set up. So, all right, that'll do it for tonight. Y'all have yourself an awesome night, and we'll talk to you next time. And make sure you please share and subscribe